are going to learn about useState in today's tutorial. So I'm going to select everything, then using the normal RFC to generate boilerplate. So after creating the boilerplate, I'm going to create two buttons, addition and subtraction button, demonstrate our script. So we'll have that. I will have count, and I will have another button. This one will be subtraction button. So yeah. So if you want to use hooks, React hooks, they must be imported first. So I will just delete this. We don't need this one. Then import useState. So with that, I can now use it in our component. And it is a rule that when you are using hooks, they must be used at the top of the component. They cannot be inside if statement, loops, function. They must act alone and implemented at the top of the component. So in this case, I'm going to have a array and I'll name it count. That is the default. This one is the default state. Then this one will be updating our state set count. Then useState. Set the default as we put 5. Just use 0. Then in that case, in order to update the state, we must use function. So function handle increment, then functions should set count plus 1. Then in order to implement this, we need to have an event on click event at the button, and it should take handle increment as the function. Then here we need to have a dynamic count. Set the count. So the increment is now working. I can then repeat this one for decrement. Handle decrement. Decrement. Then should decrease it by 1. Should also have on click function. Can just with that one. Handle decrement. So with that you can test it. So both are working, but there is a scenario we want to avoid. For instance, if I want to update current value by 2, let's say set count twice. Count plus 1. it's still only adding one at every click. So in this case, the set count are overriding each other, so that's why we can only see one update instead of two, because we have tried to implement two. So in this case, the best thing to do is to use previous state, update this previous state instead of doing it that way. So we'll have count, then this one should be a function, then we put +1. This one should now work fine. So let us try to have them updated twice. You can now see it is adding two values at every click. So that one should also be implemented for the decrement. So this is the correct implementation. So we can update different states. For this case, we were updating the numbers. We can also update string. We are now going to use useState to toggle in between dark theme and light theme. So in this case, I'm going to have const an array is dark will be our variable, that is the default dark, then set is dark, should set this one useState, then default should have false. Then I'm going to create the function. So const, in this case I'm going to use an arrow function. So toggle theme will be our function. Then should be an arrow function, and set dark. Okay, it should do like change the opposite of the previous mode. In this case, I'm going to use exclamation, then previous mode. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to our styles for this theme, const instyle, instyles can be equal to background color, set that one. I'll use the first one to check if it's dark. We set white, otherwise we set dark. So in this case, we are using ternary operators. These are a concise way of saying if-else statement in React and general JavaScript. So instead of if, we are using a question mark and a colon to give the alternative. So that, then for color, it will be opposite of this one. Color should be Then we need to set the height. Can set it to ph. Then we need to set the height, viewport height, the same for width. So width, so in that I can now use the function and the style in our application to toggle in between the themes. So you have, let me just put an h1 element. Center up. And the style will be the theme style. Then going to have a button, switch to, then I will make it dynamic, is dark, ternary apparatus, the alternative to if statements. So yes, put light, otherwise dark. So with that, I'm going to implement the on-click event. Then toggle theme as the function. So let's see if it is working. Yeah, so it's now working. You can improve the smoothness of the transition. Let me put on 0.3 seconds. Is in, out. Let's see if it's working. Yeah, it's now smooth. So that is it. Thank you for watching.